Oh, g'day, guys. Welcome back to the Aussie Gooner channel. It's been a few fucking hours since we got our asses handed to us by Manchester City. And I thought I'd feel a little bit better, but it's still fucking there. But, I'm not going to get into the way I fucking feel. I've got my panel here. I want to introduce to you guys. If you don't know, Carl Walsh Gunner in the building. My man, how you been, bro? Is it okay? Is it all right, mate? Is it bad or is it no?
It's not okay. Nothing is okay. It's serious. We're going to have a great chit chat here tonight. We're going to spit some facts, and let's go for it, man. Let's go for it. Big up to you, Steve-O, for having me on your show. It's always a pleasure, and big up to you, Damien. Great to have you on board, and let's have this conversation. Let's get this show kicking.
Mate, spot on, Damien. Damien, you're back. You're back. We were kind of worried when we first did the preview. You're back now. How you feel, bro? How you doing, bro?
Yeah, like Carl said, it's a roller coaster, isn't it, of emotions. Every gooner's gone through the same thing. I mean, I'm over it now. I was initially disappointed, like everyone else. I'm over it. Still disappointed, but I'm just ready for the next step, whatever that is. Yeah.
God, guys, look. To be honest, I was expecting Arteta to do something in this game. Something. I was expecting these guys to, I don't know, come out of their slumber. But for me, I was always worried from the get-go. I go, look, we shouldn't have let it come to this. But for me, when I saw that lineup, I don't know about you guys, when I saw that lineup, I said, fuck, this is all over. We're fucked. The lineup didn't change. The formation didn't look like it had changed. And I don't know about you, Kyle. For me, it was like, nothing changed, so much more of the same. Like, we didn't do anything, mate. We got players on the bench that we could have utilised, mate. And I don't know if that was a thing for you, but we didn't utilise nothing.
Steve-O, when I saw the lineup, I knew well enough there was only one winner here, and it wasn't us.
Yeah.
The same team, the same players, the same tactics, the same bullshit. Now, if I can see that, what the heck can Pep Guardiola see? So we just literally turned around and we just played right into their hands. We got an absolute football lesson. It could have been 10-1. The players wanted the biggest games in 19 years. An unbelievable opportunity to put one hand on the league trophy and show and prove that here we are, lads. Come and take it from us. And what did they do? Never showed up. Now, Steve-O, you're a boxer. And you get into the ring for a fight. And you're after training hard for 6 months. And you go in, you throw a few little punches. And the man is walking around you, jabbing the head off you. What are you training for? Why did you put in the effort if you're not going to put in the effort in the fights? I saw no determination last night. I saw no desire to win. I saw no winning mentality. I saw nothing. Every position of the field, every player on the field were an absolute disgrace to the jersey, apart from Ramsdale. Yeah. The rest of them are a joke. Arteta was on the touchline and he was clueless. He didn't know what to do. You see the face on there near the end of dejection. The man was lost out of his depth. Now, I might listen to you, Steve-O. You're my brother. And I respect you. And I listen to your opinions. And we always have a chit-chat about things and all the rest of it. But, and you know the way where I stand. And you know my opinions about things. At the end of the season, I want Arteta out. But not only do I want Arteta out, I want Vino out, I want Edu out. But it don't stop there. The owners, it starts from the owners and it works its way down. It's not working. It's obvious. Here we are again now. Let me tell you another thing. I put up on my Facebook page last night. I said, question. How many more years do I have to support this process And when does accountability take place for failure year in, year out? You should have seen the amount of Arsenal fans and Chelsea and Man United fans that text me back on my Facebook account. And one fella that I know for 10 years, who's a nice lad, I've nothing bad to say about him. He's a Man United fan. And he wrote something very ignorantly back to me. And I questioned this. And then I went on YouTube and I expressed my opinion. And today I wake up and he's writing on my Facebook page, who were you calling ignorant last night, Kai? And I went to reply back to him. And before I could reply back to him, he started blocking me.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
So, you know what I did? I said on my Facebook page, since you blocked me, I'll answer you anywhere. I said there's a way of saying things to people. And when you said that to me, I said it was ignorant. Now, I have no problem with anyone saying Kyle and having a discussion about it. But don't ram it down my fucking throat that second place is good enough and we should be having parades around fucking the Emirates Stadium. It's a disgrace how we're at the finish of this season. From the position that we've been in. Not good enough. I want H rolling.
You know what? After a display like that and the way we've dropped points to West Ham, and I'm going to say we dropped points to Liverpool. We should have won that game, right? That was a game that we needed to win, but it was all right. It was okay. We took that on the chin. West Ham, Southampton. Coming into this fucking game, I'm thinking we've already copped it once at Southampton. We've already copped it twice at West Ham. And midfield, our defense couldn't hold up. And Damo, wouldn't you have thought there would have been some kind of a tactical change? And Fuad, big up for joining us, mate. I'm sorry that I haven't introduced you. Big up. But seriously, wouldn't you have thought just a tweak, just a new, maybe different personnel, maybe a slightly different formation? Wouldn't you thought something would have changed in regards to the last games that we've just bottled?
Hey, it's a tough one because you would think for the last 3 games we've had the same formation, same lineup, and it's not been working. Now, it's a tough one for Arteta because if he changes it up, which could have been a good idea, and we got spanked, people will say, it's because he changed it up. That's why we got spanked. But I agree with what you're saying. You got to do something different. You know, City's been watching the last 3 games, knowing exactly what our weaknesses are, and that's it. They just, forget all that as well. City are a great team. We know that. Be honest with ourselves. Even at the beginning of the season, we didn't feel we were on the level to beat City. Be honest. We were on the level to give them a good game. For the last 2-3 seasons, we've given them good games, but we've always fell short. Yesterday was not giving them a good game at all. But that's because they are a superior team. But the point I was trying to make quickly is, at the beginning of the season, we said, right, we're not on City's level, but we're doing well enough to trouble everyone else. So we needed to get this cushion, and the cushion was so important because then we didn't have to beat City. But for the last 3 games, we fucked up the cushion, which now meant that we have to try the impossible. And now everyone's disappointed. I think most people are disappointed over the last 3 weeks. Disappointed yesterday, but I think the last 3 weeks was the main reason why most people are disappointed. And then yesterday is just the icing on the cake. So, I mean, I don't know the point I'm trying to make. It's just bleak times, but we just need to get out of this rut ASAP.
Fuad, you're in the building, man. My happy Prince Fuad, the man who came in and said, Steve, we're smashing them 3-1. You almost got it right, the scoreline. Nearly, but the wrong fucking way. Man, how you doing? Thanks for joining us, man.
I believe. I have a dream. The Man City are going to slip up. I have a dream.
Are you seriously?
I have a dream. The honest Arsenal fans will be happy at the end of the season. Now, what's going on? You all right? Now, yesterday, do you know, yesterday I watched when I watched the Pep Guardiola interview, all right? And he was like, it was fascinating what he said, because he said something about we knew already what they were going to do. Do you know what I mean? He said that, and we knew the start 11, and then when Mikel Arteta, you watch his interview, it looks like he was the way he said, we're going to do something different. But he didn't. You play the same 11, and when you play that same 11, it's like you already knew what time it was. I thought yesterday that Trossard would have come in, and then Jorginho might have come in because I thought Xhaka wasn't. You could see Xhaka wasn't 100%, but why throw him in the biggest game of the season, and you know he wasn't 100%? Then Jorginho might have done a better job with next to Partey because when they come on, all the subs, they seemed more settled. And I'll tell you something now, and even like me and obviously me, Kyle, Steve, and Thing, we all have our opinions, we all have our disagreements, but we do it out of respect. But yesterday, do you know what made the film what upset me the most is like everyone be cursing Rob Holding. Well, I check this out. Rob Holding was the only one yesterday who showed a bit of fight, even though he wasn't the best and he was pathetic. He showed a bit of fight. He was the only one when he had that set piece, took the shot the first time. They all claimed handball, but it wasn't. And the second time, he went in there and scored. Now, if Rob Holding is our worst player, that everyone says, and I agree, he was terrible yesterday, but he was the only one who showed a bit of fight. What does that tell you about the rest of the players? But that's the question you got to ask yourself. All right, I know Rob Holding's not the answer. I'm not saying he's good. But yesterday, he was the only one who you could see. He was like, okay, him and Haaland, he won a few headers, Haaland won a few headers, and it was like vice versa. But Haaland had the better of him because he scored. But at least up front, he showed something what the strikers never did. And it was like, even like yesterday with Eddie and Ketty, I'm not like all jokes aside, I love him, but he showed yesterday that more fire than the whole front three did. He come on and took a shot, put a ball in, and stuff like that. And like Reece Nelson, come on, he took on some players. Trossard made the assist for the goal to Holding, and they've only been on the pitch for 5 minutes, and it just goes to show how bad it is. If Rob Holding is the only one who got a fight and only one, and he's our worst player, that explains how bad the team are. Because they didn't even take a shot yesterday. They didn't even play yesterday. Every time they picked up the ball, it was two things. Man City at it. Yeah, but so it goes to show how bad it is. Like someone was saying with the team playing for them yesterday, it's questionable. Because for the last 3 games, we've been terrible.
And look, okay, so you can see the last 3 games have been terrible. I'm pretty sure everyone can see the last. Yesterday was a fucking. Yeah, but this was coming. This was fucking coming.
Yeah, we're sitting. But Arteta can't blame. Do you know the thing is? People blame the transfer market. All right, let's go. Don't blame the transfer market. He bought these players. He had a chance to use them.
Fucking use them.
Yeah, he had a chance. Yeah, he had a chance yesterday to say, do you know what? Trossard, you're starting. Jesus, you're sitting. He could have done that. He chose not to. And then what happens is everyone goes back. Oh, I said it yesterday on Fran's stream. If he would have signed Ronaldinho, the Brighton player, or any other player yesterday, he would not have put him on. Let me say something. Mikel Arteta has got his favourite 11, and yesterday proved it. He proved it yesterday. So it doesn't matter who you have on your bench. You can have Declan Rice. He could have brought in anyone in January. That boy from Brighton who they wanted for 90 million. He got his favourite 11. He flirted with this Jorginho guy from the summer, brought him in January. He wanted him. That was his player. And he didn't
He got him. He got him. He gets
so that's
Jorginho.
What I'm saying to you. So it doesn't matter who you bring in, when everyone's saying about thing, then I'll get on the bench. Because last year, he done exactly the same as this year. Oh, I love these players. No, you love your starting 11. You love your starting 11. And he done exactly the game after Southampton game. And listen, he let down the fans like me too, who's been backing him. He let us down yesterday. Because he should know better. It's a game of your life.
But this game here, and I'm going to throw this to the panel, this game here was coming. I saw it, you saw it, Kyle saw it, I know Damien saw it, I know every Arsenal fan saw it with the way we've been playing recently. Against Liverpool, I was worried about Partey. And I saw it. I'm thinking, okay, now we can see it. I'm not a fucking genius. I'm not the manager. I'm not getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. I'm not the one who signed Trossard. I'm not the one who signed Jorginho. But I'm the one who sat here and did a fucking preview and said we need to do a double pivot and we need to bring our midfielders closer to the defense because we're getting carved up through the middle of the park, man. Like, seriously, the players that started in this game, in my opinion, we had gaps in this squad that should have been filled by players that should have come off the fucking bench. But our manager hasn't got the balls. Is it the balls?
Yeah,
Or the know-how?
to drop him. Like, listen, I like.
Is it?
I was speaking, like, I understand why fans don't like him. I understand that, but he's got to understand it. Not me. He's got to understand why fans are against him. Why fans? He's got to understand that because yesterday he proved a point to everyone, even the fans who back him yesterday, who how deluded they are. He proved yesterday that how arrogant he was. Arteta was so arrogant yesterday. And you know when the first goal went in, look at his face.
Yeah, like it was completely. He was completely dumbfounded. I don't know. Look, Kyle, you're about to say something, and
Well,
to be honest, mate, like seriously, Mikel in this game, fuck my life.
Let me tell you something, Steve. Straight up, man.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
We're speaking here about the last 3 games that we've seen this coming. Last 3 games, no, I haven't. I saw this coming back when Jorginho got that lucky goal against Aston Villa. Aston Villa could have won that game and should have won that game. I'm looking at the game against Bournemouth when we got a goal at the last kick of the ball. Back then, I said, this Arsenal team is going nowhere fast. And now, I have been proved right. Not good enough. Arteta is out of his fucking depth as an Arsenal football manager. Not good enough. Not going to take us anywhere. He's arrogant. He thinks that his shit don't stink. He came to take over Arsenal Football Club with a blank sheet as a CV. That is not good enough since we're the 3rd biggest club in the country. Now, we're either going to sit around this time next season having the same discussions, or we're all going to have to put ourselves together and do something because our club is going nowhere. People say to me, you should be celebrating 2nd place, Champions League football. I have a question for you, sir. What the fuck are we going to do in the Champions League? I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do fuck all. The same way as we've done in the Europa League, getting beat by Sporting fucking Lisbon. This is not good enough. Next season, it's going to be 30 years since we last won a European Cup. Next season, it's going to be 20 years since we last won a league title. Now, is that good enough for the Arsenal fan base? Because it ain't good enough for me. Now, you have to ask yourselves the question. Is this just a flash in the pan this season? Because the rest of the clubs have been so fucking bad. Are the players as good as what we think they are? Because I don't think they fucking are. People are on all these shows bigging up Thomas Partey, for example. I saw Jack Grealish grabbing Thomas Partey last night by the scruff of the neck. Well, Jack Grealish showed that against Vieira or someone like that. And this was your hard man or tough man. It's embarrassing. Odegaard is our captain. I wouldn't have captain the school team. You're looking for leadership. Where's the leadership on the field? Where's the captains? Where's the winners? When you go into the trenches. This is the crowd that we're relying on to go into the trenches with. I wouldn't like to go into the trenches with any of them. Saka is overused. He's overplayed. The man is bollocks. Martinelli, where was he last night? Nowhere to be seen. Why? Because he ain't good enough. That's why. Overhyped. I'm sick and tired of it. Shaka. Why is he still at the club? 7 years of that crap out of him. You're talking about holding. The man is useless. Not good enough for the standards. Is Gabriel all that good? Shevchenko. The list goes on. Just get all except second base and all the rest of that's up to yourselves. That's your own opinions. But for me, 38 years supporting Arsenal Football Club, I want number 1. That's what I grew up with. 1987 was my first time witnessing Arsenal win a cup. I've been used to watching us win league titles and all the rest of it.
But
European,
Kyle,
the
the
European
thing is,
Cup there in
Kyle,
1994. I don't want to see the scrap. Maybe the rest of you do. I don't want.
Kyle,
It's disgraceful what's going on.
what I was saying is like I know Fran thought I was having a thing. What I was saying, like I want Fran to hear this. I'm not saying Arsenal don't need players. It ain't about Arsenal do need players, and the Cronkies need to go out there and spend the money. But then, if you're a superstar, like Trossard, he's well known in European football. He's a top player. He's been one of the best players in the Premier League for the last few years. And when he's on the bench, do you think another superstar will be like, do I really want to go and play for him?
Yeah.
So and that's what I'm trying to say. It ain't just down to the Cronkies. People gotta understand that. If say for business they give him 200 million, it's down to the player if they want to come. And he comes out blatantly and says, I love these players. And he said it 2 times last year when we lost to Tottenham and when we drew Southampton. So I'm not saying we do definitely need players. We do definitely need another centre half to replace Saliba. I'm not saying we don't. But are the players gonna come to the club? That's the question Arsenal fans should ask themselves. Because when you've got a likes of Trossard sitting on the bench, I don't get how can a man be the best player in March, player of the month in March, can't play in April. No, I don't get that.
No, you see, the thing is, it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. So why would any superstar want to come to Arsenal?
But the other thing is not just the superstar; it's these players that we do have. And Kyle, I can understand that you're upset with the quality of the players that we have at the moment. And I don't know if Damien, if you agree, but Bukayo Saka, even Martinelli, he's saying overhyped. The reason why we got nothing going to the front man, in my opinion, was because our midfield wasn't there. You know, Granit Xhaka and Partey, they actually weren't there. They were just cardboard fucking cutouts, mate. They looked like they were there, but they weren't there, right? So when you don't have a fucking spine or the balls to change it, this is what you get. And so the front guys, even Jesus, where was Jesus? Was Jesus even there? Jesus wasn't there. Now, Damien, I don't know if you agree with Kyle's sentiments on the players.
Well, all right, there's so many different layers to this, okay? So, I mean, City's another level. We've established that. So I'm not going to talk about yesterday. We wasn't there. I'm not going to talk about yesterday's performance because of what I just said. Now, you have to think about what you want and where you expect us to be. I want us to be at the top, right? But you can't do it overnight. It has to be in stages. You know, we've taken a dip for the last 15 years. We was in shit times just as Wenger left. No disrespect to Wenger, but this team was in a shit way. We found our way, okay? In the last 3 to 4 years, Arteta has actually progressed every year, gradually. Whether it's, I noticed, I think 2 years ago, we were performing better, but we were inconsistent. So we'd have an amazing performance, play well, a few games in a row, and then we'd mess up. But I was like, you know what? When consistency comes, we'll be better. And then it happened last season. We were doing well. We just messed up in the last. So what I can see is progression. Now, this season, the aim was to smash top 4. The aim wasn't, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't want us to win. The aim wasn't to win. The team, the type of players we attracted was to get you into the top 4. They weren't Champions League players, okay? Don't get me wrong, Saliba, he's Champions League level. He's been a blessing to us, which has taken us further than we anticipated or expected. So I think we've all been a bit spoiled as well because we're performing amazing. Partey, I know he's dipped off a bit, but he was also, when Saliba's there, he was doing his thing. Everyone was doing their thing. So the point I'm trying to make is, people saying Arteta should go where? We're progressing. I think if we've got Champions League, we'll see what kind of players we can attract. We need to get Champions League star players or level players. Then we're going to go for a bit more depth. That's when you start to see, okay, can our manager handle competing for Champions League and trying to compete for league? That's when you be like, yeah, do you know what? He's not able to take us that far. But he's not even there yet. So I wouldn't say get rid of him yet. I would say let him at least get there, buy those players and see what he does with it. And that's what I'm saying. So I'd say it would be a year or 2 years before you realize, you know what, this guy can't take us any further. Because I'm happy with the progression so far. Don't get me wrong. I'm not happy with the way the season's gone in the last few games. But we've won 23 games or 24. Drawn 6. I know you made a good point, Carl. There was a couple games we shouldn't have won. But in those draws, there's a couple games we should have won. But to win over 20 games is still an achievement. So the point I'm trying to make is, I'm not going to just judge the last 4 games and say, see, that's the whole season. I'll be like, I'm looking at the whole season. It's not, they say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon or some shit. Was it go the other way around? So yeah,
But
the
what-
point I'm
what-
trying to make is let's see what happens after the transfer window and then take it from there.
But what other people are saying though, and like, look, I do agree with you, but the only thing is say going into next season, when it counts, can we rely on the same players to do the job?
You need to
And
freshen it up.
that's a question like Arsenal fans got, because even me, like I said to my friend today, I said even if say for instance, for argument's sake, Man City goes, they lose to Fulham. They're not going to lose to Fulham, but if they do, and they slip up to Brentford or Brighton, and they do, and we capable of winning the league, and it's the same 11. No, because if he doesn't change it and he keeps playing the same 11, they've give up. City can lose 3 games in a row, and they'll still win the league because the same 11s give up. You see now from yesterday, you seen they are deflated. So it's down to him. Like, he's got to show his mind skills, because football's a funny old game, isn't it? That's the truth. Football's a funny old game. It ain't over till it's over. You know, it is over, but it ain't over till it's over, really, isn't it? Anything can happen from now to the end of the season.
That's. I respect you all, and we all have our opinions. But we're here tonight, and I was hoping that we can talk sense. And in your opinions, you are, and in my opinion, I am. And maybe all of us are wrong. Maybe all of us is right. Who knows? Well, lads, you can win 37 games out of 38 and lose the league title. Winning over 20 games, lads, is not an achievement if you come second. It's not. The elite sport is to be number 1. As far as it being over, it's over. The fat lady has sung. It's over. The owners, the board, the management, and the players, not good enough to win major trophies. It's plain and simple. Second, progression, all of this, it's failure year after year after year after year. We're talking about them, I respect the man, I respect your opinion. You're on about Arteta bringing the team, the club, to compete in the Champions League and the league at the same time, and he hasn't gotten there yet, and it could take another year or 2. I don't want another 2 years with this prick. He's not proving to me that he ain't good enough. I want him gone. Now,
Wait, just quick one. How is he?
2 years' time, and we still haven't won anything. I might want to be listening to the same conversations, or we may give him another year or 2. When is the time to say goodbye to this absolute arrogant, clueless manager? When is the time to say goodbye to all this failure? Or do we keep accepting failure year in, year out, year in, year out? That's why I'm asking that question, lads, because I see nothing. I see nothing.
Can I answer what you're saying in a couple of comments? So people are saying, "Oh, he spent 500 million. You know what's happening?" Someone else said, "Oh, 20. What did I say? Something about 20 wins a season is successful." I never said that. I'm putting it into context. Now, you made a great point, Carl. But what I'm saying is, he hasn't bought Champions League level players. Okay, no Champions League players are going to come to you when you're 8th. Right? And you're not in the Champions League. Who's going to come to you? So he's had to buy all these other players. They're not the players who are supposed to win you the league. So the point is, now he's in the Champions League. He has the opportunity to buy world-class players who were meant to win you the league or meant to compete to help you win the league. And that's the point I was trying to make. So I don't think we're there yet. I get what you're saying. I want success right now. I want it right now. But I'm being realistic. You can't have it now at stepping stones. So I think Arteta we need to see what he does this this summer. And it's going to be big because we need depth. We ain't got no depth at the moment. And do you know what I mean?
But even if we have depth, this is my problem now with that. That's a good point. I like this point that we need world-class players. I understand that. But we've got depth. I've got Emil Smith-Rowe sitting there. I have Jorginho sitting there. I had Trossard sitting there. And I've had them sitting there for a while. And I'm not saying they're world-class. Right? I'm not saying any one of these guys is world-class. But in the games that we've just dropped points in, these guys could have made a wonderful impact.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's a limitation in regards to Mikel Arteta's knowledge, into his courage. Maybe he looks at it. This is my starting 11. I've got a little bit of Wenger vibes here, where Wenger used to have the same 11 and say, "These are my boys." Even if they're rubbish, he'd play Aaron Ramsey. Even if he was shit, he'd still play him. And this is something that I'm hoping he's gonna fucking drop, because I need it to be ruthless. I need the manager to be ruthless. I need him to look at Thomas Partey like I've been looking at him and saying, "Are you serious, man? Are you fucking serious? Sit down. You need a rest. You're not rubbish, but you need a rest." And at the present time, I look at the players that we have, and I say, look, there are some decent players there. There are some very good players there. We do need, in my opinion, we do need a number 8. We needed a number 8 before. We need a number 8. They're aging. We need another number 6. Obviously, Thomas Partey's head dropped in this game. KDB's running through on goal. He's jogging. Are we going to be able to get these players in? And are we going to actually use them? And the other thing is, how much backing are the Cronkies going to give him? Because in my mind, I can go and get Ancelotti, because that's what's trending now. I like the Ancelotti trending thing. It's fucking great, right? He did really good at Everton. And what he did is he said, "I'm not being backed. I'm fucking off." Is that going to be a problem for the next manager? Because if Arteta, he's not going anywhere. Let's be honest, guys. I think we all understand he's not going fucking anywhere, right? If he doesn't get backed in the summer, what kind of a message is that sending out to any potential managers that you guys could possibly want? And 500 million is not much money, okay? And I know, Warren, you're making this point. I'm going to say one thing. Chelsea. And then the other thing I'm going to say is, before we get into the 500 million, rebuild the squad in this day and age with 500 million and show me depth on the bench. Good enough to compete with Manchester City. It's nowhere near enough.
That's rebuild money. Whereas Chelsea have bought, that 500 million is different. They're buying players that, again, someone else what's Champions League level quality. They're the players that are the top, that doing well in their leagues at the moment. They're the top players around the world. That's Champions League level. Do you see what I'm saying? Not the level below, that the ones we have to pick up and buy.
Do you know what everyone said about this 500
That's
million?
what Chelsea's bought. And
you know what? Everyone's saying Mikel Arteta 500 million. All Arsenal fans are making, whoa, 500 million. Go and have
Nothing.
Go and have a look at a stat, all right? You Arsenal fans who think you know it all and we don't know nothing, and we have because big. Go and have a look how much Man City defense cost. It cost 500 million on his own, just the defense. So when we're talking about a whole squad that got a few players,
goalkeeper after goalkeeper.
Forget it. I'm not even involved in the goalkeeper. I'm involved in saying that the one who went to Bayern Munich, who they sold on loan, Cancelo, Kyle Walker. The other guy who played yesterday, the other guy,
John Stones, Laporte. Let's keep going.
Keep going, Laporte and all that. Yeah. All together, just the defense they bought in the last 3 years cost 500 million. Just the defenders. Forget the keeper. The keeper cost. Now that's it. So if our owners are going to start competing with Man City, start spending the Arab money. That's the truth.
Can I say one thing? And I'm going to say it to everyone here. Kyle, I want you to hear me. 500 million. And I tell you, 500 million. And I'm not defending Mikel Arteta. I'm putting this on the owners a little bit. 500 million in the Premier League. Remember the squad that we had with Emery? It was a fucking shit show, right? 500 million. And I tell you, you need a DM, you need a centre midfielder, you need a striker, right? You need 2 defenders, you need a goalkeeper, and you need a bench. And you need them to be...
You didn't add. Sorry? We weren't in the Champions League as well, so you've got all that money.
Yeah, you got no money there.
Who's coming to you? Who's coming to you?
Look what he had to do. Look what he had to do. It's a manager.
It's not enough money.
No, but look what he had to do to get that money to spend. People are forgetting. He had to get rid of the likes of Mustafi. He had to get rid of Socrates. He had to get rid of the likes of Aubameyang, Lacazette, Bellerin. What's the other one's name? The one who Mesut Ozil. Look how many players you have to get rid of. And people think everyone think that Ancelotti and Allegri are going to walk into the job and think, well, you've got to get rid of these players, then you've got to build, then we're going to give you money.
That's fair.
Exactly. No manager's going to do that. That's why they went for Arteta. And Arteta, even though when we got him, yeah, he was a rookie. And he was a rookie. But then the rookie has been thrown in the deep end that no manager wanted to take. And now, he deserves one more season because of that reason. Like he got us to the Champions League, But Arsenal fans, when they talk about 500 million, you've got a lot of YouTubers pandering it. Goals, like I said, Man City's defense cost 500 million on his own. Forget De Bruyne. Forget what they bought. They just bought. They just bought what's his name for 100 mil. In the last 2 years, they have spent 100 million on Grealish and 70 million on Haaland. We don't spend. How much do we spend in the summer?
Dude, we spent 500. We spent 500 million total, and this is a good question from Fran. Big up, Fran.
Yeah.
Fran's sick right now, but she's in the comments. Big up.
I'll answer that quickly. So 500 million, like if you're rebuilding, it's different to if you're at the top of the league. So that's why City could spend half of that on 2 players. And I hope this will answer Fran's question. I hope we're in a position to start doing that now. But to answer Fran's question, I hated the board with a passion for the last 20 years. But in the last 4 years, I have to say, I've seen progression in the right direction. Compared to how they were, it's in the right direction. This season now, we're in Champions League. We will finally see if they're serious. Because last season, don't get me wrong, we should have bought a few more players in January. So those some of the areas I'm not happy with. But generally, they're spending more than they ever spent. So I like the progression. I just need to see what they're going to do. This will tell us now. That's what I'm saying. This is vital. Tell us what the board is saying. It'll tell us what Arteta's on. Then we'll know what we're dealing with for true. Do you know what I mean?
They got to spend cash. Kyle, what are you thinking?
Let me tell you what they're going to do. They're going to do jack shit. That's what they're going to do.
Well, you reckon they're going to spend fuck all?
You never know.
You're looking into next season. You're living in fantasy world, lads. You're looking into next season and you're there about Champions League this and Champions League that. Champions League fucking nothing. We're out of it. As soon as they come against a bit of quality, we're gone. We come up against quality. If we come across Manchester City in the latter stages of the Champions League, honestly, they think we're going to beat Man City? Because I don't. They think we're going to beat Bayern Munich? They think we're going to beat Real Madrid? They think we're going to beat Barcelona? And the list goes on. It'll be bye-bye to us. Don't be surprised if we get knocked out in the first stage of the Champions League. We're back down to where we belong in the Europa League. We need to cut ourselves on here. We can't beat Sporting Lisbon. Jesus Christ on me tonight, lads. And 500 million, so talk about this 500 million budget. Let me tell you something. A couple of weeks ago, we were 8 points clear. In another couple of weeks' time, we're going to be 4 points behind. No excuses. I don't want to hear excuses. We should have won that Premier League this season. 500 million or no 500 million. Not good enough because we don't have the heart, we don't have the mentality, we don't have the fucking manager, and we don't have the players. And it comes down to that. And the fan base are the same. No winning mentality.
I think, honestly, look, the fan base is easily split, very easily split when it comes to the manager, when it comes to the performances, who I'm going to back, who I'm not going to back. And the thing is, what I don't like some people say that I sit on the fence. I just call it straight. And here I am talking about Mikel Arteta, where I've said before, I've got to give him credit where credit's due. And here I am saying that he's fucked us in the last 4 games, and this title's gone out the window. And I'm going to drop a lot of this on his head now.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to learn from your mistakes, I'm sorry, Dama. If you're not going to learn from your mistakes, then now I have a worry. But I sit here and I also hear the discussion of let's get rid of him, and I'm ready to go. Let's fuck him off. My little problem is everyone wants to talk about Ancelotti. They want to talk about big name managers. If we can't get big name players here, right? Because we're not attractive. Let's just say, how are we going to get a big name manager? Ancelotti left Everton because he wasn't backed. He walked and said, "Fuck you, you didn't back me," right? I look at 500 million in 3 years that everyone trusts to make. 500 million is a lot of money to me, you, and Fuad, and everyone in the chat. Right? That's enough money for us to kick back and relax. Right? 500 million in the Premier League is fuck all. Fuck all. Lukaku was 80 million. Declan Rice is 80 million. Ruben Neves is 80 million. These are just to name a few. For us to get world-class players, yes, we need a world-class manager, but we need a world-class owner who's going to come in and say, look, I understand that it's dollars and cents that runs football. And that's a fact. Because we're not attractive. I know Man City got Haaland on a fucking discount, but they've been doing this for years. They've been spending, and now it's easy because they've been spending and spending and spending. We did fuck all for bloody 15 years. We were with Squillaci and rubbish players, and we let the rot become our starting 11. And now when people keep saying 500 million, I say 500 million. You got to double that. Chelsea this season spent 600 million, and their squad hasn't been left to rot. They spent 600 million and their squad hasn't been left to rot. We spent 500 million. Oh, we spent 500 million. Fuck 500 million. Any fucking manager worth anything now would have looked at that and said, I need 800 in this fucking market. We want Premier League proven. We want good fucking players. And everyone keeps talking 500 million. Do the maths. Get down. Look at FIFA if you want, because you love your FIFA fucking settings. Get a fucking calculator. Do the fucking maths on the players that you want. And I guarantee you won't even have fucking enough money to make an 11. And nobody looks at the owners. So get your Ancelottis. I want that to happen. But if we're going to be looking at something, and I'm sorry to fucking lose it, I need to see ambition. I want ambition from the players, from the manager, but I need my fucking owner, the one that's hiding away with his fucking Dracula-looking son, to show me what he can do in fucking summer and not give me 200 million that Arsenal can fucking give to Mikel Arteta. I don't want the 200 million from Arsenal Football Club. I want the money out of his fucking pocket.
Yeah, it's true. Because next
I'm
year,
sorry to rant, but I just look at it and think 500 million. Dex is 80 million. Declan Rice is world class. He's 80 million on his own.
Hey, it's spot on.
You know, Steve. The thing is, all right. Do you know a lot of Arsenal fans and a lot of Premier League fans are saying, "Watch out for Newcastle, like next season." All right, and a lot of fans are saying that. Okay, but let me tell you something. Do you know the team to watch out for? Really, it ain't even Newcastle. Let me tell you the team you all should watch out for. And he's gonna have a lot of money to spend next year. And he's done something what Eddie Howe done in 2 years. He's done it in 6 months, and that's Unai Emery's Aston Villa.
And they're spending.
And they're spending big. Because next season, you know what Newcastle did in 2 years? They wanted Emery. Emery rejected them and went to Newcastle. Because their owners have got money too. And now, look what's happening in Villa. He took them from being 16th, fighting for relegation, fighting for Champions League in the space of 6 months. Now, next year, when he has a transfer market, people are talking about Newcastle. People are talking about Chelsea. They're the team to watch out for. Because they're the team that's scaring everyone now.
And they're linked with ESR.
They smashed up Newcastle and said, yeah, next year we're here. They smashed them up 3-1 in Villa Park. We're here. Look what Newcastle did to Tottenham. Look what Newcastle did to Everton today. But look what Villa did to them. They've got a manager who we had, and a lot of fans were mocking him. Good evening today. And fans wanted him out. But now he's coming to state a fact to you guys. Look what I'm going to do next season. You got Arsenal fans are like, we're going to play Newcastle. Villa fans are like, we got him. Next season is going to be a tough season. So people like us watching them are too worried about you. What about Villa? Because he's our ex-manager who wants to prove a point to everyone.
And they're linked to ESR right now. Emil Smith Rowe, I hate to drop this, is looking to and is linked to Aston Villa.
Yeah, and that's the truth, bro. He's done something. When everyone's hyping up Newcastle, he's done something within 6 months. The Newcastle haven't done for 2 years, and he rejected that job. Why is that? So when people say about Newcastle, they've got money to spend, yeah, but they've got a budget too.
Clip.
They're capped.
I want people to clip this or do whatever. Look back on it this time next season. This was our best chance to win the Premier League. No excuses. This was our best chance in years. Next season, we have no chance to win the Premier League. Next season, we have no chance to win Champions League. Next season, we have no chance to win Europa League. We have no chance to win the FA Cup. And we have no chance to win the Carling Cup. Mark my words, next season we will be lifting fresh air once again. And this will be on a continuous basis, year in, year out, under this routine. Believe you me, this club, let me explain this to you all. 6 years before that fucking asshole Wenger left the club, I was shouting for his head. 6 years before he left. And why was I doing this? Why was I doing this?
The 8-2.
Because every single season was the same shit with him. And what they done was they destroyed the club from that day on. Look what they done. They sold the club to those American bastards. What have they done? The ownership is wrong. The board is wrong. And the whole club has been a mess. And not just now under Arteta. Under every manager we've had since Wenger. And under that bollocks as well for his last 6 years. Everybody there saying, oh, he was a great manager. 22 years, brilliant manager, blah, blah. 3 Premier League titles. 3 Premier League titles in 20 years. 3. 1 Champions League final. Got beaten it. And then we all talk about the FA Cups. The club is a fucking disgrace. You just don't seem to want number 1. But we all sit back, relax. We finish second this season. Let's have a parade. Everybody take out the beer. Everybody celebrate, dance around. Bunch of fucking clowns.
Hey, I don't think anyone's forgotten how the board fucked up the club in the last 15 years. Because if they invested properly, I think there was at least 3 times probably could have won the league if we actually spent some money. And we flopped those times. Leicester was the last time. That was the last one where we should have won that season. But that's why I hate the board, because how they fucked up the club. But I have to. That's what I was saying in the last 3-4 years, because we've gone so low. I'm seeing slight progression go up. But you made a point, Ozzy, about Arteta. He's still learning, and there's a lot of things that I don't like as well, like what you were saying. You got the man management. You've had the same team for 4 times. Freshen it up. You've got good players on the bench. So I agree with that. A different manager may be able to do better in that department. So while I'm saying give Arteta time, he needs to learn those things. Because if he's not learning those things, then definitely it's like, well, look, he can't do no better. Do you know what I mean? Then I'll be like, I'll agree with you guys and say this is the conversation we need to have, like in the future. But yeah, so yeah, it is what it is, man. But it's just frustrating, man. It's just frustrating.
A lot of Arsenal like fans say, "Oh, it's nonsense. We can't sign world class players or Champions League." Well, do you know when you speak, if you speak to professional footballers, they're human beings like us. And if you ask them, when you speak to professional footballers, they tell you, "I love to play in the Champions League." Because every player's dream to play in the Champions League as a kid. So if you've got a chance to go to Napoli, who's in the Champions League, and Arsenal, you're going to Napoli. It's a fact. It's a way of life. Jimmy, you got more chance of recognition because the Champions League is the big one. Like it or not, it ain't our fault that we're shit at it, Jimmy, and we don't know to win it like Real Madrid's and the Liverpool's and the AC Milan's and the Barcelona's. That's not how. That's like Carl just said. We've never been good in Europe for 30 years, so you can't sum up your club to be up to that level. If it's easy. Man United were dominating for years and years in the 90s. But as soon as Real Madrid come knocking on the door, David Beckham went, "See you later." Why? Champions League. He wanted to win a Champions League in his career. He wanted to win it. All right, I'll do another Arsenal legend, but after the Arsenal fans. Our legend, Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry wanted to win a Champions League. As soon as Barcelona come knocking on the door, we sold him for the same price as Darren Bent, 16 million. See you later. So I don't get this thing when the Arsenal fans think, oh, our legend did it. He didn't want to stay at the club because he wanted to win the Champions League. So what makes you think these players don't think the same? Ask yourself that question. Because a lot of these YouTubers, bro, they talk absolutely nonsense. Thierry Henry was a prime example for all Arsenal fans. Yeah. We sold him for 60 million, same price as Darren Bent. Our legend, 16 million to go Barcelona and to win the Champions League. So don't come with it. When fans come with all that, every player wants to play in the Champions League. And when you speak to footballers, they say exactly the same thing. So Champions League do attract big players, regardless who you are. It is a big attraction. That's the football world. I don't know what it's like in the YouTube world. I don't know what it's like in the TikTok world. I don't know what it's like in the Twitter world. But in football world, every player wants to play Champions League football. That is a fact.
Yeah, but Prince, I hear what you're saying.
I don't want to get slapped up in the Champions League either, but yeah.
Exactly. I don't
you will.
But on another level, we have signed some massive players in the Europa League with no Champions League war.
Yeah. But
That
you know
can
why
happen
though,
too.
Carl? Carl, because with the Banyan, the reason why Arsenal signed the Banyan, it wasn't nothing to do with the thing. Banyan wasn't happy, and Arsenal found out that he was having a problem with his
Lucky.
contract situation when he was at Borussia Dortmund. So Arsenal, bam, went in for him. It's the same with Lacazette and Leon. They found out it was a breakdown, and it's the same. The only reason why we signed Trossard is because he had a breakdown with his manager. And that's what we did with Banyan, that's what we did with Lacazette, and that's what we did with Trossard. So when people want to talk facts, that's the facts.
Yeah, but both.
Nothing to do with Champions League.
But you not think, though, Aubameyang possibly at the time was one of the best strikers in European football? You not think other big clubs...
Oh, bro, I tell you, the way Arsenal moved in on that, it was amazing. We the way they done it, they found out the situation, the breakdown with him at Borussia Dortmund, and Arsenal acted straight away. The way Wenger acted like that was something you've got to give him credit for. He acted. Aubameyang had no choice. He come in January.
Yeah. But then he did fuck all then, probably after a cup.
But with Aubameyang, that's what I'm saying to you. He come because his contract situation, he wasn't happy at his club. Nothing to do with Champions League. And if he had ambition of playing the Champions League, he would have got us there. But he thought, no, I'm here chilling. I got Bellerin, listening to my music. I got Faye. I'm rolling. And if we lose 6-0, after that, used to say, it's okay, we play next game.
Yeah, exactly. There's no consequence. And there's no consequence. There's no consequence upstairs. Now, if that was Roman Abramovich who ran Arsenal Football Club, and I keep going back to Roman, and Arsenal fans hate it, but I'm going to say it. If that was Roman Abramovich who owned Arsenal Football Club, you think he could get away with that shit? He fucking sack the whole 11, the manager, the whole fucking lot, and fucking throw the season under the fucking bus and say, look, I'm going to get a manager, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get. When it comes to football teams, and I know Warren's in the chat, and I know you keep talking about 500 million. I'm going to say it again. Calculator, 500 million. Look at the squad that we had and build a squad with 500 million from 2022. After you finish that 500 million and realize it's nowhere enough, right? Then come and chat. Because 500 million is not enough. It's not.
We talked about 500 million can win us a title.
Shambles. 500 million.
But
500 million is not enough.
You're on about the 500 million. Well,
No, it's not me. It's not me. It's everyone else, mate. I have to point it out.
Well,
I want more.
That 500 million had our team number one only a few weeks ago. 8 points clear.
Yeah, but it still wasn't enough, Kyle. You know it wasn't.
It wasn't enough because we fucked up. Because Arteta.
No, bollocks.
Well, you're telling me that Arteta hasn't fucked up in the last 3 games.
No, I'm saying he has fucked up in the last 3 games. The 500 million is not enough to rebuild a whole squad to fight against a team worth billions.
No, but we should have won that league title this year, lads. With the 500 million. We should have won the league title. We're 8 points.
We would have scraped it. Mate, we would have scraped it with that. We were scraping it. We all knew.
The title race is over in May, not in April.
That's true.
We were 2-0 up against Liverpool, lads. We blew us. We were
focused. Yeah, no, but I'm just saying that I know everyone's having a meltdown.
And we're getting 3-1 by Southampton.
But it ain't over yet.
If we would have won those games, that meant we had 9 points. We could have got beat last night by Man City, and we could have went on and won the league with the squad that we have right now. And we didn't do it because the fucking manager blew us.
Oh, mate. The manager dropped the ball. I'm not saying he didn't drop the ball. Yes, he's dropped the ball. Yes, he's made mistakes. Yes, he has. But your manager, Mikel Arteta, did you hire him?
No.
Kyle, did you hire Mikel Arteta?
No, and I wouldn't have in the first place if I was in power. He wouldn't have been over here.
He wouldn't have been there, right? So you can look at the puppet all you want. And you can sit there and point at the puppet. Because that's exactly what happened with Wenger. The same fucking shit's happening now that happened with Wenger. But no one's seeing it. I want the manager out. I hope the manager goes. I want it to happen. Just so I can sit here and say, remember what I said. Your owners need to be attractive to a manager. See, real quick, I just want to break it down. Players come to a club for Champions League, for money, and for a certain manager because they can see something, right? They see the club, it's Arsenal Football Club, they're in Champions League and a good manager, it's attractive and some money. Managers come to a club, right, when they know they've got board backing, right? They've got an owner who's fucking ambitious, and it's a club with big enough stature. That's what managers are going to come for. I've got backing. Mourinho wouldn't come into this. Mourinho wouldn't come here. Conte won't come to this. They learned their lessons. The reason why they're not going to come into this is because, wait a minute, you want me to compete with teams when I know there's a player there that I need, that I know is world class, that I can't have? What's this? Oh, you can't have him, but you can have him? You can have your second choice. You can have your second choice. You can have your second choice. You tell me which world class manager is going to come in for second choice. I know Unai Emery's done great stuff with Aston Villa, right? It's great. He's great. Yes, he's 5th, 4th, 6th, whatever, right? But Arsenal fucking fans out there, they want a world class manager, world class. They want a resume, right? So we're talking the likes of Luis Enrique, Ancelotti, maybe Allegri. He's not doing great at the moment, but they want the resume. So you tell me which one of these managers is going to come to Arsenal Football Club with a fucking resume and be told, you can have your second choice players. We can do that. Second choice. But I want you to compete and win. Don't worry about Mikel Arteta. Fuck him. Tell me who. Would you do it? If you're Ancelotti now, are you going to leave Real Madrid and come to Arsenal and you can have second choice players because it's Premier League and Arsenal?
It's going Brazil to break everyone's heart.
Oh, we're not going to get shit. The manager you're gonna get, all right, is gonna match your owners, and that's a fact.
So thanks, Steve Wall. They come back at you, then. You're saying, basically what you're saying is that a top manager won't take the job because he won't get his second choice player.
Yeah.
So
at best.
Right. I completely understand what you're saying. So here's what I'm going to say. We have spent the last hour talking about Arteta and progression for next season, compete with the Premier League and the Champions League. But if Arteta's going to be getting just his second best players with no resume, God help Arsenal Football Club. Because I think that we're in a worse situation than what I really think we are already. So whatever you're looking at, it's not looking good. It's not looking bright for the future.
Yeah, but you know the truth is, all right. The question is, like, I remember when everyone it trends around, always trends from the Arteta out fans, and they blame Arteta for it, and they blame the club, and they shouldn't blame the club. They should blame the owners. You know when the stadium got knocked down, all right. They said we want to compete with the Real Madrid of the world and the Barcelona. When have Arsenal ever competed with Real Madrid? We only beat them once in the knockout stage. We've never competed with them.
Yeah, but Prince.
We've never competed with Real Madrid.
Prince, you're an Arsenal fan, though, right?
Yeah. I'm a realist.
Let's speak facts here now. Highbury was hybrid. I miss hybrid.
Oh, hybrid.
We were promised we were moving to the Emirates to compete with the best in Europe. Because football was going up and up and up, and I could see this.
And I totally agree with you. But people, what we have people. No, I totally agree with you. They did say that. But you, as Arsenal fans, as we know, the George Graham and the previous manager said this club do not like to spend money. From the 70s, Arsenal, this club have never ever liked to spend money. Probably George Graham might have stole money to win the league twice. So this club do not like to spend money. So when this club when the club come with a business idea, let's sell a dream to the fans. Now when they said that we're going to compete with Bayern Munich, we're going to compete with Real Madrid. I have never seen Arsenal compete with Real Madrid. In the 80s we never, in the 90s we never. The only teams I've ever seen compete with Real Madrid from England are maybe Man United in the 90s and Liverpool in the 2000s now, and maybe Chelsea to compete with Barcelona. We have never, ever competed with them. We've never been in that caliber to compete with Real Madrid. I'll tell you what's competed with Real Madrid. Liverpool. They've had 2 finals with them, lost, and they've had 2, in the last 3 years, they've had 2 finals with them, and last year, they played them 4 times in the space of 1 year, 2 years. That's competing with Real Madrid. We've never done that.
Prince.
When they sold you guys the dream, I didn't fall for it. I knew they were knocking down the stadium for money.
We went to the Bernabeu when we kicked them off the field.
Bernabeu.
Everything just went queer-shaped, eh?
They should have stayed at Highbury a bit longer. When we had Alex, they should have stayed at Highbury a bit longer. I think with the move was too early. We moved too early. They should have stayed at Highbury.
The problem I have with all that is the same. Prince, I want to stay in Highbury, man. I didn't want to go to the Emirates at all.
Highbury was better.
But we had to move to keep up with the modern game and the way things were gone for money and income.
But it did
and all
tell us
the
a lie. The dream was a lie. And as an Arsenal fan base,
Yeah.
who's old enough to
It
remember
was
the
a lie.
80s and 70s, like
And
in the
I think
80s,
it's
when you're
great.
46 years of age, you like when you're 46 years of age, and then when you're 46, 40, 42, 43, 38, you should
Steve-O, I'll
remember.
be back.
We're
Steve-O, I'll be
old
back
enough
in
to
1 second.
remember. We're old enough to remember that this club have never ever bought big. You know, this club has never bought big. Even when we won the title in 1998, this club sold our best player to Real Madrid. Was it Nicolas Anelka?
Yeah, well, because we wanted to
always
recoup
been like
money
that.
so we can
I
build
don't
on it,
get
just
where-
like Liverpool
where
have done.
When his fan base goes with, we should compete with Real Madrid. I don't get it. Because they told you a dream and you fell for it, that's your business. But when you're completely going, you're telling all these, I remember. Do you know what I mean? I don't remember Arsenal building or when we won the title in 1998. I remember selling them players. Emmanuel Petit, did we sell Emmanuel Petit to Chelsea?
We sold Anelka. We got rid of fucking Vieira. We got rid of fucking David Seaman. We got rid of fucking
players. So
Yeah.
we won our first title in 1998.
Oh,
Then we won our second one in 2002.
But after
We won our
Invincibles,
first one in 1998. Our
But
players
after-
got raided.
but after the
So Arsenal,
Invincibles,
as a club, have always been a selling club.
but after the Invincibles, all our key players got sold for stupid money and
Yes.
were never replaced. That was the key. That was so frustrating. And then when we moved to the
Yeah,
Emirates,
replaced, bro.
we were sold a dream, as you said, badly
Sold the
managed.
team, bro. I know.
We would turn over 50 million every year, and they would keep the money and not invest it into the club. And that went on till, do you know when Stan didn't own? He owned the club fully in, what was it, 2017, 2018? It seems like when he fully became a full owner, around that time is when they started to learn from their mistakes. Well, I don't know if they truly have, but in the last 3 years, 4 years, it's like, okay, I hope they can learn from their mistakes because they fucked the club up by being cheap. It made us become a top team to fucking 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Cost the club even more money to get back to the 500 million. So when I saw that, I was like, good, you as a club deserve this because you fucked it up. But that's why we're trying to rebuild to get back.
Yeah,
But
true, bro.
just what my man was saying before though about Liverpool, and he made a good point. We were lucky this season. Everyone has been shit, right? We've been good, but we're not at the level Liverpool was when Liverpool was flawless that season. When City was just even more flawless. So Liverpool's very strong. I don't see that with us because next year, if we're the same, other teams are going to be other teams are improving already. So I see us battling at this rate. I see us battling somewhere between 3 and 5, which is not great.
Bro, Arsenal fans, you know the Arsenal fans, they don't like to accept it. We are a team that, yes, we have won your title there and then. We are a thing. But we've never ever competed. Like, we have competed, but we have competed, but we've never been a dominant force in our lifetime. Like, you know, they've never, unless when it was the Herb and Chapman days, yeah, they won the title 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row. They were a dominant force back in them days. But ever since the eras of the 70s and 80s and that, we've never, like in the league, like in our era, we've never seen Arsenal be a dominant force. Do you know, we have to go back to the 1930s, or do you get me? So even when the Vieiras were there in the world and Henry's were there, like 98 to 99 and 2001, we should have won them titles. Do you know what I mean? So we've never been that dominant force, like the way it was going on. I remember my team winning. Well, you don't remember your team winning because none of you fools on YouTube were born in 1930s.
See, the problem is we want people want success now. People want success now, and I want success. Everyone wants success, and it's Premier League success for me. Champions League doesn't mean shit to me. It never has. I wanted us to drop Champions League in 2009 so I could get rid of Wenger. In 2009, I said it to Football Capital. I said, I want Wenger out. I got to lose Champions League football. I want out. I want out of the fucking competition. We're not going to win it anyway. You know, I don't want to. And look at Spurs. I didn't want to be like they are now. Oh, we're in the Champions League. Fuck that. We were doing that. And in my opinion, I think the moment, the way we are, is we've had, since 2007 and 8, we've spent fuck all into this squad. The Cronkies run it into the ground so that way when they bought it up cheap. Because that way Arsenal overall cost wouldn't be that high, wouldn't be worth that much. And in the end, what do we have? We have the Cronkies in here. We have them choosing the managers. And we have them choose, and of course the managers choosing the players. And now we're in a hole, right? Don't get me wrong. we're doing pretty well this season, and we have been with a team that only cost 500 million total, right? And even then, we all knew we were light. We all knew we were light. I knew it. You knew it. Everyone knew we were light. But we were like, okay, this could work. If we lose against City, it's all right. But we just got to beat the teams that we should be able to beat. You know what I mean? We knew we were light.
Saliba,
next season, look, even with Saliba, look at the drop off in Partey. Look at the drop off in Xhaka. Even Zinchenko has been caught out a few times. Yeah, there's been drop offs. And the problem you have here is we have, unfortunately, we've kind of fallen down the pecking order because of maybe not. We're going to say mismanagement, of course, but maybe we needed to go in a little bit harder in summer and a little bit harder in winter and get these players, but we didn't. Now next season, that's the season. Next season, I want them to show me the cards. I want to see the Cronkies fucking go into their pocket. If they don't, then you know what? You guys can scream about managers. You guys can scream about anything you want. Not going to happen. It's not. I mean, these players for me in this game, just this game that just went past, I think the whole defensive line, except for Ben White, gets a fucking 2 out of fucking 10. The whole defensive line, except for Ben. Ben gets a 4. That's about because he didn't do nothing else. Our midfield, both Partey and Xhaka can have a 0 in my opinion, because they weren't even fucking there. Odegaard can join them on a 0 because he wasn't there. Jesus can cop himself a 0. Saka's trying to do something. I'll give him a 2. Martinelli can have a 2. And I'll give Aaron Ramsdale a fucking 8 out of fucking 10. I swear to God, that's what I would love to do because our goalkeeper, can you believe it? In a game where our goalkeeper was the best fucking performer, in my opinion. And we lost 4-1.
No, it's fun. Did you notice yesterday, though, why were we holding off? Why were we weren't pressing them? We were like jogging slowly, letting them pass around the back four. It's almost like we wanted to wait for them to make a mistake. They didn't make no mistake. I think one off back. They did one pass that went off, but I don't get it. Why didn't we pressure them properly? I know you can't do that all games. You'll get tired. Why didn't we? Yeah, why didn't we pressure them? There was a few times where Odegaard would come or whatever. We'll try, but it was no urgency because we were scared. It's like sit back, don't go to them because they'll counter us, and they did it anyway. So we might as well.
End of the day, the reason why we didn't press them is they all know how we're going to come forward. And when we did press them, you know how we do? We would like to push the midfield forward, and then we open up that massive gap that's big enough for my house.
There was
what happened? What happened with Haaland and KDB? Which is the same thing that happened in Southampton, which is the same thing that happened at West Ham. Now, Mikel Arteta knows this is an issue. This is where you need to show me your quality, and that's why the double pivot. That's why 4-2-3-1. That's why Jorginho instead of Partey. That's why my lineup was there, because that can be a 4-4-1-1, or it can turn into a fucking 4-3-3 anytime you fucking want. It's very quick. You can change that formation, but he didn't do that. And I think the reason why we didn't press them is the same reason why we fell apart in the other games. Our midfield let us down.
But do you know what, though, Steve? It's mad, isn't it? It's like everyone's like, it ain't over. Like I know
it's not over. No, it's not over. But it's over.
Not over because at the end of the day, if Pep Guardiola is a realist too, and like you should have seen the interview yesterday what he said. And I know people saying it's mind games, but no, everyone's forgetting like they gotta play their 2 bogey teams still, and that's Everton and Chelsea. And check this out, all right, Steve. Check this out. For that. If we
got to play Brighton and we got to play Newcastle.
Yeah, but if we beat that, I don't know. Do you know what? To be honest with you, I hope Newcastle when they play against us, they play the low block. If they come out,
they're not going to play a low block this time, buddy.
Well, I hope they come up against us because you've seen the last time when we they never touched the ball in the Emirates. So if they're going to play football against us, they're more than welcome. Let them come up here. Do you know what I mean? I'm telling you, they want to play football against Arsenal, we'll beat them. If they're going to play that low block, they're just on the counter.
Mate, mate, at the moment, we can beat Newcastle, we can beat Brighton, but I need my manager to start making the changes.
I think. But I was saying to you, Steve, if you go to that, listen, if Arsenal's next game is really, very, very, very important, even for the title race, if your thing is over,
yeah,
because if Arsenal, beats Chelsea at home, Chelsea will be in a relegation battle. They'll be 2 points behind Wolves. And in the last 3 games, Manchester City, Manchester City, Manchester United, and Newcastle. And our last 3 games.
Okay, that put a smile on my face.
Bro, we need to beat them because they know we lose to Man City, we go down. We lose to Newcastle, we go down. We lose to Man United, we go down. So there's 3 fixtures there. Listen, I've only just predicted that's what's going to happen. But if we beat them on Tuesday, they Man City, Man United, and Newcastle, and in for the run for their money against Chelsea. Because they would have to, the players will be looking, yo, we ain't going down.
Shit. Oh, yeah. Fucking here we go.
Bro, look at the fixtures, bro. I couldn't believe I seen it today. I was like, is this for real? If we beat Chelsea, if we beat them, they're in a relegation battle. So
mate, that's gonna be the highlight of this show. I think that's gonna be the highlight that Chelsea could end up in a relegation battle.
I'm not even joking. Look at it.
I know you're not joking, but like I'm just saying, like after all that's gone through, and I memean, don't get me wrong, Chelsea are in trouble, Spurs are in trouble.
But you know what it is? Frank Lampard, for some reason, all right. Maybe not against us. He won't. I don't think they'll beat us in the Emirates because I think Arsenal will be hot steam, and they're going to take it out on someone. I think we'll beat Chelsea. But I think Frank Lampard, one thing he's good at, he's good at getting a draw to Man City. He done it with Everton. He done it when he was an Everton manager. He done it when he was a Derby manager. he's like Guardiola's bogeyman, isn't he?
Well, honestly, with the situation we're in now, we're going to have to rely on other teams to do the business we should have taken care of.
100%.
And now with everything that's going, I'm not confident. The league is out the window. The league was out the window against West Ham for me. But, guys,
there's still hope, bro. There's still hope,
bro. Guys, Damos, where can everyone find you, man? I'm going to end this stream. I think I've vented. I think we've all fucking done it, man.
Yeah. My Twitter handle is the same as my name there, but do you know what? I did say yesterday or the other day, if we beat City yesterday, I'm still not confident for the rest of the season. So I just don't know how we're gonna do for the next few games, man. Like yeah. I'm just thinking about it. We just need to win our games, and then we just need to win our games. And someone said in the chat here, we're gonna see which players are hungry and really want it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to Manny,
and that's key. And that's key.
I want to give a shout out to my brother Manny. I like Manny.
Oh, Manny.
Big up Manny.
Manny. It's all love, mate. It's all love.
I love Manny. Manny's a good brother, man. He's a good man.
Damos, where can they find you? They can find you on Twitter. I've got your.
And Instagram's there. Yeah, wherever. I've got a show coming up, so it's gonna have a lot of 3D and stuff about like squads and formations and stuff. But that's coming probably towards the end of the season / next season. That's with Brenny. So, but yeah, look out for it. But yeah, thanks for having me though.
Mate, cool. It's been an absolute pleasure. Fuad, where are they going to find you, man? Where are they going to find you? I've got your description in there. I've got all the links in the descriptions. Don't forget, guys, like, share, and subscribe.
You can find me on YouTube, Prince Fuad TV, and you can find me Prince Fuad on Instagram.
You gotta. Kyle Walsh Gunner was in the building, guys. So if you haven't subscribed to Kyle Walsh Gunner's channel, please subscribe. He's a real one. I had Warren from Warren's Team Talk in the building. Please subscribe to Warren from Warren's Team Talk and the Armory TV. And if I've missed anyone, Fran, I know you're sick. I hope you're doing well. Please subscribe to Fran's channel, my man Akpos as well. But guys, from the Aussie Gooner, from the fucking Etihad, from all the Arsenal fans that are now copying this shit, guys, I wish you all well, and it's Uru, guys.
Nice one. Take care, guys.